Hi, welcome to clickmyproject.com. Our project title is Generating Summary Discourse Course for Mobile Applications. Next we go for abstract of our process. Our process which comes under the domain of data mining. In such as for mobile devices, one frequently downloads and users can download the many applications with restricted functionality from multiple anonymous vendors. So the production beside mischievous applications must depend to a large degree on decisions made by users. A main part of malware production on mobile devices is to link the risk of installing apps to users and to permit the user to make informed decisions about whether to choose and install specific apps. Now let we going to discuss about the known to unknown vendors present during the downloads of mobile apps. The foremost production mechanism in Android besides malicious apps are a hazardous communication mechanism which user install an app, notifies the user around the permissions that the app requires, believing that the user will make the correct assessment. This method has been exposed to be hopeless and is it presents in hazard informations of each app in a standalone problem, and it in a several way needs plentiful technical knowledge and time to distill useful information. Here we conserve the preferred properties of risk signals and comparative risk scores for Android apps in order to cast the additional metric that users can utilize when picking apps. Here we present an extensive choice of techniques to generate both risk signals and risk scores that are established on heuristics as well as honorable machine learning techniques. Next we are going to discuss about the data flow diagram. The data flow diagram which starts with by collecting the input data. Here our data which contains the mobile apps which has the several attributes as mobile apps name and description, downloads, size and platforms needed for the required apps. Next we are going to pre-process the collected data, that is the filtering of the unwanted characters, that is the cleaning of the data. For that we have to fix the threshold to find out the which are the malicious and known vendors for the approach. Next we are going to perform the probabilistic approach, that is the naive based classification. Based on that, here we are going to classify as the risk detection as real apps and malicious apps. Finally we have to find out the risk score based on the apps classified. Finally we have to evaluate the performance of the proposed and existing technique. Here we are going to see the demo of our process. First we have to start with home.java. Here our motto is to classify the known and unknown vendors who are giving the apps to the users during the installation. Here our project title is Generating Summary Risk Scores for Mobile App Classifications. Next we have to collect the data set. Here the data which are collected from the Google Play Store website. Next I am going to browse for a data set which is comes under the format .csv. Next this is our data set. Here I collected the 50 apps from the Google Play Store. This is our apps name and updated year and the cost and the apps description, like that attributes which are given here. Next we have to pre-process the data. The collected data which are pre-processed here. Here we are going to load the data into the database. Here the data which are stored in the database. Next we are going to view the stored data. Here it is the name and the start date, price, description, downloads, current version and size, and which comes under the category. Next we are going to pre-process the collected data. In this pre-processing, insert the data set into the database by using the tokenization concept. Here the null values which are deleted. After that we have to pre-process the data, that means elimination of unwanted symbols or extra spaces in the data set. Here these are the purely pre-processed data. Next we are going to classify the, here we are going to see the app info, that is the which comes under the real informations about the data. If we are going to download a apps, means here these data, these attributes which are common in the particular apps. Here we are going to fix as a threshold to predicting the known and the unknown vendors. Here these are the apps informations, that is the name which contains the apps name and the year which comes under the 2000 to 2015, and its price must be free of cost, and its a description, and the downloads which comes under lakhs, million and billion, the version which varies with the device or else, and the size which also varies with the device. Based on that we will classify the final outcome. Next we are going to classify the apps that are collected from the Google Play Store. Here I am going to select the any one of the apps, that is a WhatsApp apps, means here I can get the details about the WhatsApp informations. Here it is based on that we can update the one by one informations. Next Facebook, which comes under the category of social. Next we are going to Facebook Messenger. Here we can get the attributes. Next YouTube, like that we can update the informations. Here the critical permission and the pass of critical permissions used to, we will calculate the risk of apps in a simple user friendly manner. The machine learning techniques and the heuristic techniques can be presented to generate the risk signals and the risk score. Next we are going to categorize the apps based on the apps categories. Here we are going to categorize the data. Here we are going to select any one of the, here we have 6 categories like that: chat, social, music, shopping, other, photo, recharge, browser, game, like that. When I am clicking about the chat, means here I can get a chat application, chat apps. These are the WhatsApp, Telegram, Hike and Skype, which comes under the chat category. Next I am going to give us a music, means I can get it is a Ghana Unlimited, YouTube, Netflix, MX Player, Bookmachine, like that I can get the data. Next we are going to clustering the process to finally classify the known and unknown vendors. Here I am going to classify as a cluster 1 and 2, that is a real apps and malicious apps data. Here which comes under the real apps, and it comes under the malicious apps based on the app informations. Next we are going to predict the naive bias of the particular apps. Here it is the P of A by B, P of A and B, and which is the final outcome here. Here which occurs the data like the chat, means it comes the real apps, that is a 4 times occurrence, and the social, music, malicious apps, like that it will come. Next it is the P of B and P of A probabilitics value. Next it is the final outcome in the naive bias classification, which is the cluster 1 and cluster 2. Next it is the final outcome of our process. Here we are going to classify the apps on the risk score. The apps will be ranked under risk factor in lower to higher order. Here I am going to classify the real and malicious apps. Next I am going to find out the real apps of the data, that is I am going to view the real apps data. These WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, YouTube, which comes under the real apps data. This is based on the categories and clustered data informations. Next we are going to predict the malicious apps data. This Ghana Unlimited and Textplex, which comes under the malicious apps data based on the cluster informations. The risk score factor, this will improve the security concerns of Android. This will help in improving the app ecosystem, as with the users paying more attention to the app will risk over the data. The developers will follow the least privilege principle and will request only the necessary permission for the app. Based on that, here we are classified the known and unknown vendors as a malicious and real apps, like that. Next we are going to evaluating the performance of the proposed and existing system, that is the malicious apps. Here this is the real apps vendor. Here we are classified based on the percentage. Thanks for watching.